the majority of this time to Miss April Scott. She's going to be sharing all about team building this time of year. Some people think that you can't team build during the holidays. It is one of the best times to team build. So let's give it up for April Scott. I'm going to put speaker view on for the purpose of the recording. So if everybody could mute out for a little bit so that we can participate in some great training.
Thank you, Denise. And I am so looking forward to. Okay, can you hear me now?
Uh-huh.
I think you muted me. I was
trying to mute
talking.
myself. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, hi everyone. And I'm thrilled to be able to share this stuff with you tonight that I have been, just packing into the mental filing cabinet that I have since my beginning in Mary Kay. I can still remember when I very first started and I was terrified to share the business opportunity with anybody. Absolutely scared. Ask Denise. She went with me to an interview and I was sweating and couldn't talk. My words didn't work. I was shaking. I let fear overtake. Don't get there. The funny thing is there's nothing to be afraid of. She was super nice. She, loved getting together, and I got all twisted up about it. So if you feel like that is familiar, just know that you're not alone. However, I don't recommend it. Okay. You want to do the and then some in your business by stretching and growing. So why team build during the holidays? Well, first of all, when you team build during the holidays, your team members, I'm all practical, right? Like I'm money motivated because of what choices I get to have by it. And the one main thing that really impressed me when I realized it in Mary Kay was that when you start a business, whether it's in November, December, October, you get to take the tax write-offs for the entire year. That's like handing someone a check for things that they've already paid for that they're going to get money back, right? Okay. So I'm not an accountant, but that's one of the nice things is that you could take the tax benefits. Another really cool thing is that many people are looking to make extra cash during the holidays, right? How are we going to pay for the kids' toys? We really want to take a trip. We want to do something, all the things that the holidays bring usually require some money. And you can promote it where we can make money right from our homes, right? You can do it through social media, online platforms, and the use of our website. We have many options. And I just can't reiterate enough. When we started BC, before cell phones, before credit cards, we didn't have online, we didn't have websites. We didn't have cell phones. We had a wall phone that had a cord, and then eventually cordless came around too. But you still had to stay in your house. You couldn't like walk too far away or you'd lose people. There was, we have so many options, all the platforms that we have online, all the different kinds of parties, pop-up parties. And everything was strictly in person back then. It doesn't have to be now. Women have options, especially the younger generation or those who are very busy working full-time jobs or have a lot going on in their life. Online saves time. So that's another benefit that you can sell for getting someone to listen to the opportunity with you. Mary Kay's a business where you profit immediately too from the sales instead of waiting for an unemployment check or a government aid or, monthly paychecks, whatever that is, or bi-weekly, whatever. It's a way you make money right away. And I love that about my business. And especially if you have products on hand. If you don't have product on hand, then, that money doesn't come as quick. And when I first started my Mary Kay business, I didn't have money for inventory. So I took orders and then spent all my time, collecting the money for the orders and then delivering them, blah, blah, blah. Took too much time. I could have made more money quicker. So just know when you have inventory, it's better. You can also add to your income by receiving 4 to 13% commissions on your team members, 8%, 13%, 9%. There's different percentages at different levels. And we're going to talk a little bit about that too before I wrap up. Many people have a lot of time on their hands to do training to start their Mary Kay business. This can give structure for those who are going a little stir crazy, because of the holidays, and they're coming. Walk through Costco right now and you'll see Christmas everywhere. Anyway, during these uncertain or tough economic times, cosmetics is one of 3 industries that is recession proof. and ours is the healthiest choice, by the way. The other is um, alcohol, tobacco, and entertainment has fallen in there a little bit, but we're the top three. So when they have time on their hands, they can learn, and they can learn from the apps from their phone. Just getting on their phone, you can do little chunks and learn along the way. It's not like we used to do 2-hour trainings, before the meeting and for 4 weeks in a row. They can do it little chunks of it, little bits at a time. So it's time conducive for them. It's not like they're going to college, right? They're learning on their own time, whatever works for them. So it's convenient. And we are recession proof. That's also the best thing. So a lot of women are going to be home with their children during the holidays, and Mary Kay can give them the option to stay at home after the shelter, the staying at home for the holidays is done. And that can be very, gosh, what's the word I'm trying to find? Appealing to women. I left my career when I joined Mary Kay and started my career after college in the beginning because I was working 12-hour shifts and I never saw my kids. And I thought that's not how I want my life to be. My time with my kids was important. So I chose to do Mary Kay instead. And then, of course, we get team building bonuses with qualified team members. So your team members can also become team leaders and team builders. So, and star team builders and all of the whole lineup of different ways to, grow your business, grow in the business and grow into leadership. There are great start bonuses on each of the great start team members during the great start period, which when I started in Mary Kay, we didn't have any of this. This is so lucrative for you as a team builder, and for someone who joins your team, it's an option for them as well. And one of the other things is our company has been around for, drum roll please, this is 2025. It started in 1963, 62 years we've been around. That longevity shows that we have a business that works, because if we didn't, we wouldn't still be in business. So there's proof. And we're self-employed, so there's job security in that. We can't get fired unless we fire ourselves. So one more reason to team build during the holidays. And there's a lot of women out there who want to be a part of something bigger, part of a community that's focused on the common good, a love for other people, positive environment. So who do you know who needs more money in addition to the job they're working? And if you do have a piece of paper, I'm going to be giving you lots of little questions to write down. And I would like for you to do that. And if you don't have paper, grab it quick and a pen or a pencil or whatever you need to write it down. If you're on a computer and you can type it out, that's great too, or a iPad. Who needs more money in addition to maybe a job they're already working? With the holidays coming, I think that's everybody. And of course, with what's been going on in the environment, of our community and the world, all the prices are going up, everything's going up. Everyone needs to make more money to do what they did last year. And that continues to be a trend. So having a side gig is something that can give them that security. Who do you know that's unhappy in their current job and maybe just needs something else to do? A potential, career change. They won't know till they start. So they just have to take a step in the right direction. So who do you know? So first was who needs more money in the job they're working. The second one, who's unhappy in their current job and needs something else to do. 3, who do you know that needs more flexibility in their life? Make more and work less. Who do you know that needs more flexibility? The next one is who's friendly, who loves people, and doesn't even know that they're looking for more. A lot of women come into Mary Kay just for the fun of it and then realize how much they grow and how much they get from it just because they were involved. I'm one of those people. I did want the money, but I had no idea. You could take the money, the prizes, everything that I've gotten throughout the last 35 years away from me, but you can't take away all the personal growth that I've gotten. And that's so valuable. So next question to ask is, who is looking for a more positive group of friends? Because our tribe is positive, positive, positive. Who do you know that needs more positivity in their life? And it doesn't have to be a woman. It can be men. There are no, there's no discrimination. Who needs a social outlet to get out with other women? Because we meet on Zoom. Sometimes that's the only option. Maybe they don't live here. They can't get together with us all in person, but they can definitely get on our Zoom meetings. So who do you know that needs that social outlet and social media outlet? Because we have so many activities. Obviously, this week we have our Tuesday night meeting, we have date with the directors, we have the fall advance coming. So there's a lot of opportunity to hang out and be with your tribe. And then you can also do that online as well. Just like we do on our nights when we do casual connection. We Zoom everyone in so they still get to be a part of it. Next question is, who loves the product and who buys a lot of it? I want you to look at your customer base. Who spends the most with you? Could it help them out if they didn't have to pay full price? Who buys a lot from you? That should be someone that goes on your list. Who has daughters and could use the discount on the product, or other women in their life? Maybe it's, sisters and moms, but who has a collective group of women around them and they could use a discount? Who else do you know that is looking to build self-esteem and confidence, or could use that? Maybe they don't know they're looking for it. Maybe they deep down know it, but they've never admitted it to you, but you know that about them. Put them on that list too. And they're the people that, can't accept a compliment and are, putting themselves down all the time. And we all know people like that. And I don't mean like Debbie Downers, but I mean women who genuinely need some bolstering up in a positive environment. Who else do you know that has talked about having their own business or doing a side gig? I'm sure there's people in your circle that you know or that you've heard of. The next, who is an achiever, who likes recognition and prizes for what they do? Who's the life of your party in your circle of influence? We all have one. They are what we call the high I, influencing personalities. Who's a mover and shaker and does not want to be limited on how fast they can move? Those are our D personalities, the dominant personalities. Don't tell me what to do, and I want to go to the top. And the nice thing about Mary Kay is we're given the opportunity to do it at our own pace. Who travels a lot or has lived in a lot of different places? That's another great way to find women who have a lot of accessibility to other people. And who do you know that could use a car? If they want to go into directorship and become a director, they could earn the use of a new car. And I got to tell you, I've earned 5, and I absolutely love the fact that I didn't have to pay for them. Who do you know that's an empty nester and could use tax advantages? Nowadays, that's a huge thing. They can't, or all the kids are all grown now and they don't get that earned income credit on their tax returns. Who do you know that fits the bill there? Who's entrepreneurial and wants to set their own hours? So entrepreneurial minded people. It could be a college student who's just looking for flexibility to earn extra money. That's where I was when I started. I was in college. Who do you know that likes to travel and learn and grow personally? We all know someone that is constantly in that mode, reading books, going to conferences, talking about the things that they've done, loves to travel and learn and grow personally. Who has ever asked you about how you got into your Mary Kay business? That opens the door right there, that they're curious. They want to know more. Who has a large circle of influence that you know? Again, the life of the party. That's a good place to start. Who likes to host parties and events? Who do you know that's always got something going on and their house is that house? They've always inviting you over because they've got, card games or barbecues or, wreath making, ornament exchange, cookie parties, something along those lines. You probably have someone in your sphere that's like that. And I'm going to pause right here because the reason why I'm having you write these things down is because if some of these you don't know, you can use these questions to ask for referrals from other people. Okay. Who works with a large group of women? You know, someone who works in a job where it's all women, who likes to, be around women, because that is kind of a prerequisite for this role. Who maybe used to be an executive, but now is staying home with the kids, but maybe is missing that executive income and could use some extra money and adult conversation that maybe she was used to before. Or transitioning into retirement. Who do you know that might be in that sphere? Maybe it's a relative. Who volunteers and is in philanthropy. So women who volunteer, they're a huge part of our Mary Kay world. Who's looking for something to do where they can build up retirement? So put a star next to the ones that you do feel like you know, and then we're going to go over some more as well. I am like the walking question mark. So I ask myself these questions. Who do I want to recruit? Where are they going to come from? What are my goals? Who do I want to recruit? Where are they going to come from? What are my goals? Where am I going to find time on my calendar? Where am I going to find time on my calendar? What would I say? I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm new in Mary Kay. I don't know what to say. Trust us. Those of us who've been in a long time will teach you. As long as you're willing to learn. If you're coachable and teachable and trainable, which all of you are, because you're on, preaching to the choir here. You guys all are here. Ladies are all here. I know you all will take that mentoring. What are they going to want to know? What are they going to want to know? What am I going to tell them about Mary Kay? I know my very first recruiting interview, I froze. I couldn't say hardly 2 words. So do I know the marketing plan? Do you know the marketing plan? Do you know what's in it for her? Another question I like to ask is, am I happy right now where I'm at? Or do I need to grow and stretch out of my comfort zone and grow a little bit? I heard this years ago in Mary Kay. I can't give credit to who said it, but I adopted it. And I say it a lot. When you're green, you're growing, and when you're ripe, you're rotten. So I always want to be green and growing and learning. What am I going to need to do to step out of my comfort zone? Sometimes it's just calling people, right? Or learning something new about what we have to offer other people. Another question that's very important is, do I have the support of my family or friends? And that can be yes, and that can be no. Either answer is fine. You just need to know who you can lean on and who you can't. You don't want to tell people who are not supportive all your dreams and goals, because they will shut you down and they will put fear and questions in your mind that you don't need. So the next question is, do you believe you can do it? I believe you can do it. I know Denise believes you can do it. Kelly does. Mary Kay Ash did. That's why she started this company. So, do you believe you can do it? And maybe your answer is, I don't know, but I'm willing to try. That's an okay answer. Let's see, what do I think might stand in my way? What's an obstacle that might hinder me from reaching my goal? Name that now. Don't let it trip you later. Find out what it is ahead of time and think about it. All these questions should be helping to actually determine what might get in my way of team building. The other question I like is, how has this opportunity changed your life? Like I said earlier, the personal growth that I've gotten through all these years is the biggest gift that I could have ever given myself. And there's so many things. The personal growth for me is the most important. The prizes, the money, the cars, all that stuff's great too. The travel, the sisterhood, the tribe, all of that's great. But my own personal growth is probably my biggest gift that I gave myself. And so, how has that changed your life? Did it bring you extra income? Did you make new friends? Did you get better self-esteem? Did you, create better habits for yourself? Because we talk so much about time and money management. How has this opportunity changed your life? That is a really important question, because that's what you want to talk about when you're team building. You want other people to know how your life has changed. And if you're new and it hasn't really greatly changed your life yet, or you don't feel like it has, share some of what we share. Like, well, this is how it's changed my life. And I know this person, her life was changed this way. I personally know these people and how their life was changed because of Mary Kay. So are you glad that someone gave you the opportunity to say yes? I hope so. And I know so, because you're online right now. And that's exactly why we want to team build. What if someone had never, ever shared it with you? That makes me want to cry. And I'm excited that I said yes. So we have to replace our own doubts and fears regarding team building with questions that, what would it take for me to build my team? I feel like if we're not building our team, we're selfish. If we're not sharing this opportunity, we're selfish. We're taking opportunity away from someone that they don't even know that they could have. How fair is that? I don't think it's fair at all. So what would it take for me to speak to someone about the opportunity? What would it take? That is another important question. I want you to underline that one. What would it take? And I've kind of outlined a bunch of questions for you already. What would it take? What areas in your life can you delegate or ditch until after the holidays so that you can focus on team building during the holidays? What's going to need to happen in order for you to reach your goal? And you can't say, well, my family needs to be supportive finally, because that doesn't count. That's asking them to do the impossible, and you have no control over what they do. So, what's going to need to happen? What can you control? What effort can you put in? Because there's only two things you can control in life at all, your effort and your attitude. So when life happens, how you handle it is your effort and your attitude. Okay. So all these are really personal questions. And I'm hoping you all wrote them down and you've been like opening the brain door, right? The doors in the brain, open the brain door and start thinking about how you can answer those all genuinely, sincerely, and honestly to yourself. You don't have to share this with anyone. It's time to start the plan A, B, C if you have to, D if you need to, just to set your goals. The sun's going to come up. Well, it's setting right now, but it's going to set and then it's going to come up in the morning. What is it about building your team that you're going to regret if you don't get started right away and you don't start making a plan and taking action now? I want you to write that down. Will you regret it? What will you regret? I don't want to live life with any regret. And I'm a list person, so I like making lists. I like to check things off. That's what works for me. Um, so when it comes to the who do I know, creating that wedding list. I know we've heard it time and time again, but I'm going to say it again. If you were getting married tomorrow and you had to start a list of who you wanted to invite to your wedding, start writing that list now. Use that same list of people. Look at your Facebook contacts, look in your phone contacts. I know I have a lot of phone contacts and a lot of people online. How many groups are you involved in? Who do you know? They're going to come from some of those groups. If you go to church, other people where you go to church. If you go to, a gym, is there people there that you talk to? Any of the places where there's a congregation of people is a good place to start. Like I know them, maybe they're just an acquaintance, but it's a perfect opportunity to get to know them better. All right. So in my mind, the next thing to think about and process and figure out is what do we have to offer them? What's in it for them? Everybody has a sign around their neck that says, make me feel special, make me feel important. And I'm no different. We all do it. We all have it. So what is in it for them? Well, I shared part of that on the beginning of the little benefits of joining during the holiday season, but not just the holiday season. What else is there in Mary Kay? The personal growth, the money, the cars. Mrs. Cab is a great way to start. And if you haven't memorized it, as soon as you start using it frequently, it'll stick in your mind. M is for money, R is recognition, S is for self-esteem, C is for cars, A is for advantages like tax advantages and advancement, B is being your own boss. And then I like to add the word F for flexibility. This is FCAB. Okay, so MRSCAB, and then you can add flexibility in there as well. Having those memorized is going to be, just a quick like elevator pitch type way to share some information. Denise has a great video that she's done that you can share. And there's some drawings that, you can get into by sharing. Let's see, what else did I want to share about that? You may know someone who you already have figured out what Mary Kay could do for them, like how it would improve their life. So maybe it's a money, like they could use extra money. They really, really could. Well, they go on the list. And when you talk to them, you're going to share with them the way they can make money and how that would improve their life. And you might have to do a little digging, getting to know people. We're question askers. We ask a lot of questions to get to know people. And most people are pretty open about sharing, especially if you already have a relationship with them. So once you're clear, you've gotten quiet, you've really given it some deep thought, then it's time to take action. All right. So we've had lots of questions like the who, what, where, when. Those questions all need to be answered. And sometimes the answers are going to change because this is life. But that's how you pivot when you need to. There's 3 reasons why you always want to contact someone or have in your mind when you're contacting them. So we have our preferred customer program, and the PCP program is a perfect opportunity to reach out to your customers with a phone call or a text message. People actually answer the phone more than I thought they would, and I think COVID maybe did that just for personal connection. So you can call your current customers and ask them how their products are holding up if they're loving their Mary Kay. So those PCP calls, you're calling for reorders, right? So there's one reason to call them. And if they're good, then you need to have another reason, right? So upcoming events that we can invite them to or engaging in their life. So let's say we didn't have an event coming up. We would want to dive into what's going on in their life. How are the kids? What's going on? Have you been traveling? Asking questions and kind of finding out where they are today in their mind. Because whatever's going on in their life right now is what they're going to tell you. And that'll give you what you need to share with them about the business. So let's say, oh, I'm just so tired. I work so hard. I need a break. I need to, go have some pamper time. So there's a perfect opportunity to book an appointment with them and get in their space, just for an example. Asking them if there's any reason, here's the third thing, asking them if there's any reason why they wouldn't be willing to let you practice your team building skills with them, and that your director has challenged you to talk to X amount of people, and that you were the first person that came to mind because you really value their opinion. Can everybody agree that that is a really easy way to say it? So, is there any reason why you wouldn't be willing to let me practice my team building skills or my leadership skills? You can tweak the words a little bit, but is there any reason why is how it should start. And letting you practice on them. It takes the pressure out of, oh my God, they're going to try to get me to sign up. Let me practice on you. I need to practice and hone my leadership skills. My director has challenged me. Okay. So my director has challenged me also takes the stress off of you in the way that you're looking at it because your director is challenging you. Just ask. She'll tell you. And then set a time to have them listen or right then if you can. Be prepared that sometimes it's going to be right then. And if you're not comfortable yet, you're new, you really don't know what to say, share the video with them. Okay. And Denise has created that for all of us. It's easily accessible. It's on YouTube. The whole world can watch it on their phone. There's no reason why someone can't watch it. Ask Kelly. She watched it finally after Jen pressured her and said, please, you're going to help me out, please. And there's gifts and all that. So bribe them if you need to. Not because you're trying to do something shady, but because you believe in this opportunity so much that you are willing to twist their arm to get them to listen. And I have told people before, I'm willing to I'm not going to twist your arm to do Mary Kay, but I would twist your arm just to get your opinion and have you listen to the facts. And that's that. Again, taking the pressure away. This is a no pressure job. Unless we put the pressure on ourselves, which is probably 90% of the time. That's where the pressure comes from for most of us. And if you feel like you're stuck, reach up. Reach up to your person that recruited you into the company, reach up to your director, reach up to, someone who's doing what you want to do. If you see someone in the unit who is sitting in the position that you could see yourself in or really would like to, and maybe you're a little afraid to, or you can't see it, but you love it, to be in that position, then talk to someone who's in that position and shadow them a little bit. Ask for help. But here's the thing. Don't do it unless you are really willing to be coachable with whoever you reach up to. And sometimes you may hear things that you don't want to hear. You might have to change something to make it work better for you because of the experience from who you're asking it from. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, so other thing to think about, who do you want on your team? Do you want another one of you? Do you want a Denise? I want a Denise on my team, right? She's a director. Don't you want a director on your team? So start thinking about the qualities you want on your team and give it a lot of thought. Give it some genuine, what are the qualities that I want? Do I want someone who's driven? Do I want someone who is money motivated? Do I want someone who wants to spend more time with their kids and less time at work? Do I want someone that has my same values? Think about those. Okay, there are always exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, use the guidance that you've gotten today and from what your director will give you, your team builder, everybody in your circle that, you can look up to. Use our wisdom. We got here for a reason and use our wisdom. It's still valid today. And let's see. Remember, the highest compliment that a customer could actually pay is to get them to listen and give you their opinion. Okay, just remember, getting opinions is really important. Why do you think the world created surveys, right? We're just questioning it in a different way and live and in person. And then what's in it for her? Well, you can offer her a discount on her next order or his. You can do a drawing and give away a product. Maybe you have some limited edition stuff that you don't think you're going to sell. You can give it away in a basket and you can create a little something and let everybody know who you ask if they are interested in it because their name is going to go into a drawing for that basket. You can keep it very simple. You can offer a 50% discount, which doesn't cost you anything for one item, whatever it works for you. All right, I am going to try and screen share because the other thing is knowing what we offer. And on InTouch, under the documents, you can get this sheet. Okay, can you see that? Denise, I'm looking right at you. Can you see the box? Okay, so it is showing it. So career path at a glance. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. Oh, I can't do it in Zoom already. So this whole top part right here shows where you are as a beauty consultant. It shows what the commission structure is. It shows that path. And right here's your red. So you become once you're a senior consultant by adding one team member to two, once you get to three, you're going to start heading in the red. Okay, headed to red. And then as sales directors, this is the next line, and then national sales directors. So this can be very helpful for women who need information when you're getting together with them. You can get it, you can email it, you can print it, you can show them a copy that you have. But knowing what's in it for them when it comes to the money, the dollars and cents. A lot of companies out there don't offer, like direct selling companies, don't offer their representatives anything to share. They keep everything kind of hidden. And I just like giving it up all on the front end. This is what you can earn. No empty promises. This is exactly what you can earn. Right. And then you'll know as well. And you can learn. And there's more pages to it. I just took the one page out of the career path. So I'm going to turn that off, but it's called Career Path at a Glance. And you have to kind of dig to find it in the document library, but I think it's really valuable. So we have about 5 or 10 minutes left. And so I wanted to open it up for questions. So everybody can unmute if they have a question, and I'd be happy to answer it. Or comments. And I haven't checked the chat, so I have no idea what's going on in there. Oops.
Everybody's still muted.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe you can unmute them.
I thought it was great, April, that I loved all the questions that you gave us at the beginning because sometimes I'm like, even though I feel comfortable team building, sometimes it helps to like have all those questions to help get me out of my rut of who I'm recruiting and looking at a bigger picture. So I really like that. It was really good.
Thank you. I'm a list girl. If it's on paper, it's easy. It's impersonal then to me. It doesn't emotionally hurt me or make me scared or, I can cognitively like focus on that and it's not scary like
I
it
was
was in
just
the
having a conversation with a coaching call today. Well, two different times this came up is that people usually recruit when they're new and excited or when they have a goal to move up. And that is the truth in Mary Kay. It's just as easy not to as it is to. And so give yourself a reason, you guys. How would you like to make an extra $1,000 or $800 a month by recruiting a Kelly or a Heidi or somebody who is doing the national court or a Kelly Moore, for instance, or a Jackie now? Like so many of you are really stepping in, but when you think about it, you never know what that person might do. They may have bigger goals and dreams than you do in the moment, but don't let that hold them back. And there's that poem called Maybe She Needs Me. I don't know if you're going to share that, April, but I love that. It really gets you thinking about getting.
I didn't think about it, but I'll look it up real quick.
Okay, yeah,
I have it in my files.
yeah, I know you do. There's a poem about this, is that we're not really thinking about other people. We're thinking about, oh my God, they might say no, or they might think I'm being pushy or whatever. And you can always ask. And a no sometimes just means not yet. There's a lot of people in our unit right now that I just had a feeling about. I just felt like I needed to share. I needed to, give them a little bit more information about it because people think they know. Most of the time they don't know what they don't know, how Mary Kay's different. So
Riley was one of those, she got started and she didn't know why or what or how that was going to look. And here it is, she's just having her 1 year anniversary this month and she's getting started. So you never know.
That's the same with Jackie too.
Yeah.
I want to just say this really quick while April's looking that up. Sandy Kellogg invited me onto a Zoom last night that the Oregon directors did. And one of the girls that just became a director had talked a little bit about how she was team building and going through DIQ. And she shared with Sandy she has a skin care survey. I think she calls it skincare survey or something like that. And Sandy and I talked a little bit about it afterwards, and Sandy's kind of tweaking it a little bit. We thought hers was a little salesy and kind of shady sort of. And so Sandy's tweaking that. So we're going to have that here really soon to share with everybody. And I think that's a really cool way to approach people. I've never thought about doing that. And I've done surveys before for other people and stuff. And so I'm actually kind of excited to try that way in our Mary Kay way. So it's not coming across salesy or, scammy or anything like that. But she built her unit that way. She just debuted as a director. And I guess I get to see her when we go to Dallas. And so I'm going to pick her brain a little bit and we're going to tweak that survey. So it's going to be a little more user friendly for us and the way we do things.
I love that. In fact, the one thing I forgot to mention is that maybe you call your customer and the 3 reasons why you called, she didn't reorder, she didn't book a party, and she doesn't want to give you her opinion about the business. You then can say, who do you know that you think might want to give me their opinion? Do you have 1 person or 5 people? If you give me the names of 10 women, I'll give you a half price hand cream or whatever. Using that or the survey idea, it's kind of the same thing. It's getting the opinion of other people. And so I think that's awesome. And I can't wait to see what that survey looks like.
Yeah, I'm almost done with it. I just, as you were talking, I printed it up because I need to see if it's going to lay out on the page correctly. Because I don't know what she did to create it, but some fancy formatting stuff that I can't mimic. But it is a good survey. And what was interesting, she did, April, exactly what you were talking about. She would ask customers to give names and she would give them a gift, if they would complete the survey. But so the kind of that standard, like I've got a class going, I've got a couple of ladies here, I'm going to give them the survey, and then I'm going to ask them to give me names of people that will do the survey, and I'm going to give them a gift, right? But then the other thing that she did, which was I thought was, and she even admitted that it was out of her comfort zone, was she just went to the grocery store, and as women were walking by, she would just say, "Will you answer my skin survey?" And she would hand them the piece of paper and a pen. And she even talked about, don't give them the pen from, what bank was she saying? Kelly, she kept saying the bank, like Wells Fargo or whatever. I'm just going to
She
use that
used
as an example.
Chase, but
Chase
yeah.
Bank, yeah. She's like, just go buy pens that don't have any marketing on them from the dollar store, like the cheap pens, and hand those over, and then collect them from them as they fill out the survey. And then now you've got a list of people, and it was interesting anyway.
Yeah, I did something like that when I was in North Carolina when I was trying to build my business there. I took a big basket and I had samples in little baggies with my business card and a piece of candy or lip gloss sample. And I did different colors for men and women for what was in the little sample bag, the little vellum bags that had the little sticky, just the size of your business card. And I took the basket and I would go. So we had like one post office and there was always a line, like on Fridays, certain days of the week, there was always a line. And I don't know why, but there was. So I would go to the post office and stand in line and just ask people, would you like a free gift? I just have a few questions to ask you. And I'd start with that, give them a free gift. Ask them questions, do the survey where people are standing in line. Concerts. I mean, shoot, there's lots of different places where people stand in line. So, but for me, everybody was a stranger because I didn't know anybody there. I didn't know one single person, so I needed to meet people. And so that is not always the most fun way to talk to strangers, but you know what? They were all nice. I never ever had anybody hurt me, talking bad about me or trip me or, do anything. They were all really like, yeah, I'd like something. And I met a lot of really great people that way. So don't be afraid.
We're
Any other
coming up on
comments?
Halloween too, and every year, especially when I'm in a new neighborhood, but multiple times when I'm home to give out goodies, I do the treat bags. I say, okay, I did it last year and the year before. Give this to your mom, and it would have my business card, a sample. There's all kinds of boo bag ideas out there if you go to Shanny's office or go online, where you give them a treat. You give the mom a treat too, not just the kids. Like they can pick candy, and then I say, go give this to your mom. I've had a couple of people, who have said, oh, you're in Mary Kay, and I've gotten customers that way. But it gets the word out that you're new in the neighborhood and that you do Mary Kay.
Exactly.
I found out through doing some like soul searching and that kind of stuff and kind of revamping some of these questions or re-going over them, tonight as we've been doing this. And I don't know if this is pertinent to somebody else, but it is to me. And so I wanted to share it. I have found that I seem to have more limiting belief and fear associated with talking to people I already know, thinking that they're going to think I'm not a professional or, they knew me before or any of those kinds of things. And so I actually have more comfort in talking to people that I don't know because they don't have like a preconceived opinion of me. And so I don't know if that resonates with somebody else, but that really resonated with me. And so that could be another thing, is what is keeping you from talking to people that you actually already do know? And like, why haven't you talked to them yet? Because I have a lot of people on my like wedding list, that I haven't talked to. And it's kind of like that thing, our scary ladies or whatever. And so maybe that's another obstacle somebody has too, especially for people who've maybe been in it a little bit longer than brand new. And so what is holding us back to talking to some of those people that we do know? And why are we putting limiting beliefs on ourselves that are not sharing that opportunity with somebody else who, could totally need it and totally change their life too? So coming back to that reminder for me tonight was big.
Good. Thank you. I totally agree completely. It's always been easier for me to talk to strangers, but then it's like, okay, why is it that I am not talking to them? Because I'm afraid what they're going to think about me. Well, you know what? It's none of your business what they think about you. That changes on a daily basis anyway. And what you think about you is what's important. Well, if there's nothing else, thank you for the shares. I appreciate that very much. All right, I am going to close then with that poem. Thank you, Denise, for having me shift gears there. And this is a beautiful poem. Maybe she needs me. It had been a long day and I was finishing a task. As I hurried past her, that little voice asked. Ugh, not today, I told myself. I'm tired and it shows. Besides, I could look foolish and it's likely she'll say no. While drifting off to sleep that night, I saw her face again. I wondered what her life was like, her dreams, her needs, her pain. What if she'd been praying for a friendly word or smile, the chance to meet somebody that would go that extra mile? What if she'd been looking for a break, an open door? Was this the opportunity that she'd been praying for? I saw the cars she would not drive, the rings she would not wear, because I would not risk myself to stop, to ask, to share. So what if I offered her was not her cup of tea? That was a choice for her to make. How selfish could I be? When all my dreams are realized, I don't want to feel regret for the lives I didn't touch and change, the no's I didn't get. Oh, let me live the true go give and let my mission be not do I need her, but maybe she needs me. And I just thought about why we don't talk to those people. We lost our excitement, Kelly. Because when we're excited, we do tell everybody. We don't care what they think because we're excited. Just like Denise said, it's the cycle of like, where we're at in the cycle of a consultant. Because we all go around that circle, sometimes multiple times a day, right? Sometimes multiple times a month. But when we stop and lose our excitement and enthusiasm for why we're here, that's why I ask you to go back and find out, why did you start? What have you gotten out of this? Surely if you got something out of this, even if it's been, you're new and you've only been in a month or two, there's going to be other women who need that too. So thank you for letting me share tonight.
Thank you so much. That was so amazing. And we'll see a bunch of you Thursday and a bunch of you Saturday. Good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night.
April, that was great.
Night.
Good night.